How you going, guys? Anthony from Saz 4x4, and in this episode we're going to be putting all the suspension on the Shorty. Before we start installing all the suspension, I'll just quickly go over what we've done to the chassis because I didn't get it properly filmed. It's just a bit on iPhone, but it's been completely sandblasted from head to toe, primed and then painted in chassis paint. So that took off any rust, anything like that, so it's looking pretty brand new at the moment. We've also replaced both diffs for GU diffs just because they're a little bit stronger and the track's a little bit wider. That way the tyres can stick out a bit more and give us a bit more stability. So for the sandblasting and painting, I had Chris from CDE Sandblasting and Protective Coatings do the job. So he both sandblasted it, primed it, painted it, did the whole lot. Couldn't be happier. He came to me, did the job quickly. It only took him, I think, like 2-3 hours, done the whole thing. And yeah, I couldn't be happier with the job. So yeah, if you guys had any sandblasting or painting needs, anything like that, I highly recommend him. Now let's get back to the suspension install. Alright, so I think we're going to start with the back first. So I've got the rear lower control arm here. I usually get a bit of grease and put it around the bush just to keep water out and keep it all lubricated. So just do that before I put it in. I just fit everything up loosely first, and then at the end I'll go around and put Loctite and tie it up when it's all sitting on level ground. So we're just going to install the upper control arms now, and I've adjusted them to the standard height for a patrol, which is 400mm long. We might have to shorten them later, depending on the gearbox and all that, the angle of the pinion. So this is the correct pinion angle. But for now, we're just starting off with the standard, and we can always change that later. These things have to be exactly the same on both sides. So what I do, put a bolt through one end, and then you put a bolt through the other end. If they both go in like that, that means they're exactly the same size. So yeah, that's just a little handy tip. So we've just finished the main suspension, all the arms, the coils. These aren't the actual coils that are going to be going in, these are the old ones. The coils for the rear haven't arrived yet, so we're just using these temporarily. Also, we figured out that this arm is no longer good. You have the factory locker in the rear, because these diffs I bought have a factory locker. You actually need to have the arm curved to clear the brake proportional valve bracket. So I'm going to have to get a different arm for that. For now it's okay. Also, we have to put all this bracing in, so I've got this bracing here. So we're probably going to have to remove the coils again to put this in, because I think you have to screw this in from the bottom. Probably should have done that first, but oh well, you live and you learn. So yeah, got to put all that in. But yeah, it's getting a bit late today, so I think for today we'll just leave that. I'm going to get this fuel tank in. That's a long range, 145 litre, I think it's LRA, the brand for the long range tank, and that's about it. And then we're going to move on to the front.
It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
Nah, because this has to be above, that's why.
Yeah, same as this. Go.
So we just tried fitting in the long range tank and we couldn't fit it in because of this aftermarket tow bar that's been put on this car. So this sticks out here, so we're gonna have to cut that off. It's for this angle, but as you can see where it's scratched here, you can't see it on camera, but it's scratched around there. That's because of this sticking out, so we've got to cut that off. And I'm pretty sure this tow bar has been done very dodgy anyway, because if you look at it like this, it's actually on an angle. On this side where they've welded it, this plate sits on the side of it, and then if you look at this side, it sits on top, which means there's that much of a difference, so it's actually on an angle. And on here, it even says that this tow bar is to suit a Toyota. So I don't know what they were thinking when they did this, but what do you reckon, Joe? So I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, so now we're gonna have to cut that all off. So we're just gonna cut the tow bar completely off, and then we can put the tank in, and yeah, but I think that's a job for another day.
So on that note, that unfortunately concludes this episode, but I'll leave you with a little preview of what's to come in the next episode. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next SAS 4x4 episode.